Hi everyone, today we're going to make a meat spread from Quebec called Cretons, and it is made with different meats. You can use whatever meat that you'd like, and it uses some breadcrumbs, onions, milk, and some spices specific to French Canadian cuisine. But you can use whatever meat that you would like. This spread is enjoyed, we love it. Specifically, I make it during the holiday season, but it is enjoyed for breakfast on toast. Or you can use it as part of sandwiches or appetizers. So for Creton, you will need meat. For my recipe, I am using 5 pounds of meat because I make it in a large batch that I will freeze. You will need your meat, you will need some breadcrumbs, onions, milk, and some spices. I will have the recipe linked in the comments section, so you can just follow along with me for today. So 5 pounds of meat. Before we get started with the meat, we need to, in about 2 tablespoons of butter, get minced onions that we finely chopped. We need to get them translucent. So we're going to put that in our pan and let them cook until translucent. So it's just 2 or 3 minutes or so. After about 3 minutes, the onions are ready, and we're going to add our meat. I'm adding 5 pounds because I've doubled the recipe. The recipe that I'm going to link in the comments is the regular standard recipe, so half of that. But as I said, I'm making a large batch, so I'm going to add my meat to this pot. And I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients right now as well. You will need a cup of breadcrumbs, a cup of milk, and your spices. As I said, spices is to taste. The recipe will have cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg in it. But I also use the El Mamia spices for Creton. Again, you will see these in other recipes. I'm not sponsored by them, but every time I go to Quebec, I make a point of going to the grocery store and getting these. You can also order them online. So this one is specific to Creton, or the meat spread. And for 5 pounds, you need about 4 tablespoons of this spices. I add a little bit less, and that's about what I have left in the bag. But it's about the equivalent of like 2 or 3 tablespoons. Again, it depends on your taste for these specific flavors. You can omit them if you don't like them. And I also add a little bit of pepper. That's about a teaspoon of pepper or so. Then you mix all your ingredients together, and when they're all incorporated, you let them simmer for about 40 minutes, 30-40 minutes. And you just have to mix frequently because you don't want this lumpy, you want a smooth mixture. Once your mixture has cooked for about 40 minutes, you're ready to transfer it into your containers. You can use small individual containers. Pour your mixture in them, let them cool completely, and store them in the fridge. They will stay in the fridge for about 7 days, or you can freeze them after they've cooled. What I'm going to do though is put it into a larger container. I've lined this one with parchment paper. I'm not sure that that is needed, but I think it might help me to get them out later. But so I will pour my Creton mixture into that big container, let it cool completely, and after about 24 hours or so in the fridge, I'm going to separate it into smaller portions and freeze them as individual portions. And I can take them out of the freezer. I can take out as much as I need at the time. So this is our next step. We're going to pour our mixture into our container. As I'm doing so, I'm trying to get some of the liquid, keep some of the liquid out so it's not too liquidy into my mixture. But you don't want it dry. So the liquid will cool into like a fat that will bind the meat together. So I'm not too worried about that. Okay, last few spoons. There we go. Because it's really hot still, and it's really cold outside. We even had snow yesterday, so it really feels like winter and the holiday here in Pennsylvania. And I'm going to cover it tightly with foil, and then I'm going to let it cool completely outside and then throw it in the fridge so I can redivide it later. But this is Creton. I will show you the end product. I hope you enjoy it. And this is really a traditional dish for Canada and Quebec specifically. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as my family does. Thank you. So here's the finished product in the large dish. I took the liberty to make myself some toast. It is delicious. The white on top is some of the fat that has cooled down that binds the meat together now. So in the dish, then I actually separated into 12 different pieces, and I've wrapped them individually in some foil, then put them in Ziploc bags and threw them in the freezer, and now they're ready to enjoy.